All right. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day to everybody. Looks like we are all set and roaring to go this morning. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So, my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. It is July 28th, 2021. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the market has for us today. All right. So, starting off with yesterday's discussion, we talked about this idea of the China um industries, certain stocks within uh, China-based sectors having the potential for sort of a short-term capitulation based around the idea that a lot of these stocks were getting into some sort of oversold conditions. Um, we know that the news and the sentiment around this area is pretty negative in this current time frame. And what we were looking for as traders is not necessarily to fight the trend, but recognizing that the trend had started to move away from its sort of natural trend line. Whether you want to look at moving averages, it's starting to basically stretch too far to the downside with a lot of bearish sentiment. And oftentimes, just like with momentum and buying climaxes to the upside, there can be some really great opportunities just for a return back to test the trend, along with potentially setting major lows inside of some of these products. So, what we had yesterday is, give me one second, just making sure we got some visibility into the YouTube stream. So, um, what we saw yesterday is the potential for that to occur. And the reason we brought it up the day prior is because we had seen two major gap downs in some of our main trading stocks. And usually, when this occurs, we're kind of looking for that moment when things are too imbalanced. And oftentimes, there comes the turnaround play, often seen with some sort of capitulation type setup. Now, what we have here is just another ETF that represents a large component of Chinese-based stocks, the FXI. And just like we did with some of our analysis of the airline industry with the ETF JETS, we're seeing the potential for this sort of stopping volume, not only in just one or two stocks, but in a basket of stocks. And that leads us to this sort of daily potential setup with a major gap down and stopping volume and a potential reversal daily structure. Not only that, but as we look back in time, we note that this area is significant, relevant to some major lows in this marketplace. And as we get through some of these stocks, you will see that some of them are actually hitting lows that haven't been seen in quite a while, with one of them in particular being quite interesting. Now, this is also the case with an ETF like GXC. We have different sort of reasons to consider this potential capitulation low. And we also see that it is testing a previous swing high, a major range that occurred during some of the COVID lows and the eventual return from those bottoms. But just like FXC, we are seeing, let's see. Okay, so sound is still good on YouTube, so we'll get the video back up shortly. Um, with ETFs like GXC, that sort of index and market cap weighted basket of stocks that we like to trade, similar approach, similar setup, and ultimately same thesis idea. Things that become too oversold, especially too quickly, often are a bit overreactive in the same way that you can see too much momentum and too much euphoria leading to major tops in the market, along with, in this case, a potential major low. Now, some of the stocks, and I'll kind of pause just in case we get the video feedback on YouTube, but some of the stocks that we were watching yesterday are stocks that affect these baskets the most. You want to think the higher market cap names are going to have the most impact, in the same way that stocks like Apple and Microsoft are going to have the most impact for the S&P and the technology sector. They simply have the largest bat to swing. So first and foremost, we certainly wanted to see a stock like BABA start to show those same signs of potential bottoming. And if you were trading BABA yesterday, there was plenty of opportunity to the downside. We saw the morning range, a little bit of volatility, a couple of dollars here and there, and then sort of I would say, morning trend sell-off down to test some very relevant lows in this marketplace. And if I pull up just a 5-year daily on BABA, you can see that BABA is in a spot that it hasn't been in since some of these COVID lows, basically the lows of the marketplace overall. So we are certainly in sort of no man's land in recent history, but what we're seeing in the short term is the potential for that bottoming action, those volume signatures, the fact that we did close relatively strong. And once again, if you were trading BABA yesterday, there was plenty of opportunity to the downside. But once we noticed that the bottoming was starting to occur with some shorter term intraday signals, 180, and the assertion of value, the fact that sellers are starting to become exhausted here, we get that bounce. And in the short term, this bounce so far has not been met with additional selling pressure. We're seeing continuation, and the fact that we have these gaps above us means that there may not be much resistance on the way back up. Oftentimes with major resistance zones, sellers need to stay there and balance that market, basically indicate that this is a new supply zone leading to additional downside. And then ultimately, if we come back up, we test it. But in the case of these large gap downs, these are moves that are occurring so quickly that the imbalance doesn't have time to establish supply. And often that's what makes these return plays so attractive, is you can take advantage of the downside, and you certainly don't know how aggressive it's going to be until we get the trend continuation. But on the way back up, you often know that above you, the lack of resistance can provide very quick and sort of resistance-less return to the trend. So for those looking at BABA or just the China sector in general, we're starting to look at a potential thesis of just a return play back to the trend line, back to test the eventual breakdown that we got over the past couple of days. And without going into too much additional detail, this is also looking to be potentially true for a lot of other major market cap names. We have some skew here because some of these names have reported earnings and some of them are about to report earnings. So obviously take that into account. But stocks like JD putting in some pretty good buying pressure and a solid trend day candle back to the upside at the lows. Stocks like Baidu, which maybe isn't quite ready to return, but also is not a major market cap name as significant as some of the other ones we're seeing. And let's see, I think we're also watching Billy to some degree. We're trying to see whether the entire marketplace is showing similar signs. And if so, there's potential for this sort of all sector correlated rally back to the upside in the same way that we saw the airliners do it a few days prior. So we'll keep watch on this. This is providing great volatility intraday. And regardless of if you're following the trend or looking for the reversal, there's opportunity here. And whether you're doing it in an intraday fashion or a swing fashion, I think overall, this marketplace is kind of providing some good risk to reward in both directions. So, main news today is we did get a round of significant earnings last night. We had the likes of Apple coming out with its earnings, and uh, whether you're surprised or not, ultimately Apple's did have pretty stellar earnings. We're seeing double-digit growth year over year. We're seeing a lot of their sort of new paradigm shift, growth-based initiatives inside of the company continue to have very increased revenue stream. The uh, let's see, what is the income of this company is increasing quite heftily. Um, but in the short term, when it comes to these earnings, what matters for us as traders is the reaction. Um, the very simple way to define this is that is the marketplace rewarding these stocks for continuing to have stellar earnings, or are the marketplace noticing that these prices that have already been accounted for, are they appropriate for these earnings? Are we basically at a point of lack of demand and lack of supply to where these stocks may not have much in terms of directionality moving forward? Now, we just received earnings for Apple, so calling those and using technicals to find whether that could be true is going to be quite challenging. But in the short term, what we are seeing is that Apple has had a pretty stellar run up to specifically 150. The daily chart is putting in the potential for a double top. And the reason we want to start thinking about this area as a range is because of the reaction against 150. Now, we've talked about ranges before, and we talk about how the setting of ranges often occurs quite early. But whether you're able to recognize these ranges and respect their support and resistance key levels is up for you as a technical trader to start to appreciate and understand. Oftentimes, the markets will move away from trend, which Apple certainly did. We had sort of a move away from the general trend line. We corrected back to it, setting both our high and low in this reactionary zone. And now we have come to test it so far. We have not cleared this high. Therefore, we need to think about this high as the potential for a double top. And the reason this can be even more powerful if we look ahead into what may occur for the rest of the week is we've already come back and tested near the automatic low, the reactionary low that we got once the initial high is set. So while this is forming, we have earnings, so this volatility is facilitating testing these highs and lows. And in the meantime, we have also short-term lost the trend. We have seen this trend be tested plenty of times, so we know it is rather set and powerful in terms of this initial move. We also know that the price action below has to prove itself to get back into trend in order for the potential for this top end range to be tested. In the short term, this is a warning. This is showing us that Apple may be a bit exhausted here. And ultimately, we're seeing that volatility carry over into the NASDAQ. If you were trading the NASDAQ yesterday, you recognize just how weak it was throughout the morning session until we got a pullback to our sort of dynamic support zone, which is the 20 period moving average. Specifically, in the NASDAQ as well, we're starting to get that increased volatility as we have lost the initial trend. And this setup here is setting the potential for, once again, not necessarily the same type of double top, but a back test of our trend. Be very, very cautious of this test right here. It looks good on the charts right now. It looks solid because so far the 20 period is held many, many times amidst the trend. But keep in mind that the technology stocks are reporting this week, and amidst that reporting, we're seeing profit taking. So can this low hold? And ultimately, how much more upside does the NASDAQ have against something like a larger channel structure, which is also fairly well set in this marketplace? The lows of this channel a bit less defined, but ultimately looking something like this. So keep these concepts in mind. It can often be challenging when you're looking at a trend to say, well, where is the top of this trend? When is the trend going to end? We often have to look higher level. We have to find additional reasons to consider that the trend may be pausing, stopping, or ultimately reversing, each of which often looks a certain way in the chart. And when it comes to some of our main tech names, we're seeing that volatility creep into our index, along with recognizing that maybe this upside needs to pause for a moment, not necessarily reverse and return back to lows, but ultimately we're trying to find whether this market wants to continue to be directional or range bound. And in either case, there's different trading styles that can take advantage of those opportunities. Another name that came out with earnings is Microsoft. Now, Microsoft, a little bit less well defined in terms of its uptrend, but we know that both the major tech names have had very strong, just general upside throughout. And while we did have this sort of warning amidst a larger drop in the market, Microsoft was able to recover its trend into its earnings. Now we're seeing that volatility show into the earnings range, and these highs and lows are going to be important moving forward, as just like any other trading range, they're setting expectation. This is where the market deems risk in terms of its earnings. And we're seeing the after effect where market has sort of tested this upper end of risk. This is where sort of the expected move of the option market comes into play. And often you'll find people trading straddles or using the expected move to define iron condors inside of an earnings play, expecting the marketplace to stay within it. But if we ever start to crack below or above, especially this week, because a lot of these option plays are still active, they are set for the Friday expiration of this series. If any of these start to crack, and especially the direction of the move, that can sort of deem additional risk in the market, and that can lead to very significant volatility in either direction. It doesn't matter if it's to the upside or the downside. So with Microsoft in this more elevated position, noticing that that volatility has been set based on the earnings reaction, and if we can see movement outside of those ranges, once again, as day traders, we can take advantage of the potential breakdown or breakout along with expectations for the index products. So Microsoft, of course, if you saw their earnings, another stellar performance here. We're not really seeing earnings that have missed the mark. We're actually seeing a lot of exceeded expectations. And because we're getting so many in the course of one day, the fact that they're all sort of lining up to be at or above expectations leads us to this sort of, cautionary tale of, are we going to see additional upside, or has this really been priced in, and maybe a bit of consolidation or just lack of momentum moving forward. Google, same basic idea, probably one of the best earnings that we saw. And this is relatively surprising because Google has been one of the best performers year over year. We're seeing uh, appreciation above 50% year over year in Google, and additional confirmation that the earnings have sort of facilitated this expansive growth. So same basic concept with Google, albeit maybe not something that we trade quite as often, but just recognizing that, this stock has been in a trend, very calm and collected amidst the trend, not necessarily as accelerative as Microsoft and Google, but as with the earnings range, just kind of recognizing, are we going to break the lows or highs of this range? And in the week of the option series expiration specifically, if we break those, that's where risk can come into the market. That is short-term risk because of how options work and because of how the gamma exposure of your option contracts will facilitate additional movement in the direction of the break. So we talk about gamma squeezes all the time. This can occur amidst a more volatile earnings period. And we can see that both during earnings and pre-earnings, depending on when that risk is defined. Facebook did have a sort of gamma squeeze last week because of the earnings option risk that was defined prior. A lot of that risk had to be adjusted because some of the correlated news came out and Facebook actually saw the significant upside and sort of the increased demand of the stock. So when you think about risk, it's not necessarily downside risk. I'm mostly referring to who's at risk. And if we see directional risk, it is often because of the option market. So, oh yeah, finally, I forget one stock here, AMD. Once again, no real red flags or warning signs inside of their earnings. Very strong showing, lots of growth in this company. Some of it I can say is ultimately justified in the stock appreciation so far. But same basic concept. We're seeing this reactionary range inside of the earnings. You want to think about this from the option market perspective and from the expected move perspective, with the equities sort of showing those highs and lows. They're very general at this point, but this is sort of a general range to work with. If we start to break these ranges, think about how the option market has to now sort of hedge its risk, close short positions, adjust non-directional positions, maybe even start to roll their positions out in time, and that can lead to volatility on the breakout. Obviously, if you're trading the stock, you want to see that in the form of a setup. But if you're trading options, this can also be an advantageous time frame to take advantage of because of some of the volatility contraction opportunities here. So with all these stocks reporting, we still have a few names left to go. I talked about Google and Facebook, but Facebook technically has not reported earnings as of yet. And then we also have Amazon. So we have, a couple of names that are still on deck. And what's interesting is that some of these names who have been out for at least one trading session have not really seen a lot of benefit from their earnings. If you're just looking at Tesla as one of those sort of larger market cap names, the reaction to earnings was relatively muted. And so far, the price reaction has been a bit poor. We're coming back to this lower trading range, trying to see if the demand here is facilitative. But if you're looking at the expected move for the week, there is additional potential downside here. The expected move for Tesla was approximately, I believe, it was about, I think I want to say it was $47 to $50. And that puts our expected move range approximately 678 to 608. That is adjusted over time as people are starting to change positional risk and ultimately affect the expected move short term. But if you're looking at where large volume nodes are in the Tesla option market, you want to kind of look to this current series and see if you can find where that risk was prior to earnings, along with just knowing it ahead of earnings. So obviously mid-range, we're seeing a bit of put and call risk, but the 670s are standing out on the call side, and on the put side, we don't necessarily have sort of a triple digit open interest, but we are seeing larger shells at lower prices. And then of course, closer to at the money is always going to be a bit higher. So look for these zones. And if Tesla does have directional bias intraday, these can not only provide targets, but if we crack through them, this is where risk is defined. And you can see this in the option market before something like the level 2 or the directional bias really shows it to you. So think about this when coming into earnings, finding the expected move prior to, seeing if the option market is confirming it with high open interest and volume in those nodes, and then ultimately playing those ranges pre-earnings with volatility plays, post-earnings with more directional or volatility crush type plays. And then obviously if we get outside of those ranges, look for those 2 standard deviation moves, those big gamma squeezes, which this market has been giving us quite a few. So looking at the overall markets, we've already talked about the NASDAQ coming to test the 20 period. I think that's going to be a very important low to confirm. Ultimately, if we ever lose that low, the fact that we're in such an elevated position in tech and the fact that our upside from that channel perspective is relatively limited if you believe that channel is going to hold, look for that low to continue to support and see if the additional earnings this week can facilitate that last push to the channel top. From there, we'll see if the market is going to be a bit more sideways or if we're getting some large based full correlated selling. That'll be more of that trend line break into volatility and downside. But for the SPY, there are some additional sectors that are starting to perk back up. Yesterday was a bit of a more defensive day. We saw the likes of consumer staples making new, I believe, all-time highs. So keep in mind who's trending and who's not. Consumer staples is not necessarily the most risk-on sector out in there, but it is a strong sector that so far has gotten a bit stronger. We also see defensive posturing in utilities. Utilities, back and forth. We're seeing some setups that are bullish. Those ultimately did not really pan out quite well, finding additional support. And then these more impulsive days with higher volume. Very defensive day on a weak NASDAQ day. Very important to note that it wasn't necessarily all sectors to the upside. The NASDAQ was particularly weak yesterday. Obviously, tech in that same sort of position as the NASDAQ, testing the 20 period on the daily after multiple days to the upside. Just note that this volume here is a bit lacking. So are we seeing people actually support these price levels, or is this some sort of speculative momentum move? And are we seeing the potential for this trend line to start cracking down? Obviously, setting that low is going to be very important. Can they hold it? And then across the board, healthcare continues to be quite strong, has already moved away from sort of the buy zone of the 20 period, and we're seeing that sort of extension. So this has some potential legs ahead of it. We'll need to see that pullback and that continuation before we can define our risk. And then discretionary is very similar to tech. They're actually quite correlated at this time. Along with our inflationary names, we're waiting to see if they can crack through the 50. They're a bit choppy at the moment, more of the range-bound trading, and therefore, a lack of trend-based trades, more of the buy support zones, sell resistance zones, and vice versa. XLI, Probably one of the hardest ones to overall interpret. But we did get some impulsivity last week with the market correcting. We're just going to see if they can hold this range, get back into sort of that bullish trend, and then ultimately test their highs. And then energy, not very stellar performance. We're just seeing that sort of reactionary low, and these are often short-term trades. You want to find the volume and you want to find the setup relative to previous support zones. It's obvious when you're looking back in time, but just think about this chart. If you didn't have this information, would you have thought that this was a buy setup for a reactionary sort of bounce? And think about how this can play out in some of our capitulation lows that we may be seeing in other sectors and other industries. So SPY and Qs still relatively strong, but definitely starting to test whether or not they have additional upside. IWM right in the middle of the range, very overall, just confirming the fact that this volume shelf is so powerful. Obviously, the main idea here has been that sort of range bound trading and seeing opportunities when we get too far removed from these areas, knowing that if we ever lose this low, it's going to be quite drastic to the downside, potentially testing much lower volume shelves. So, and then finally the Dow, very similar to the IWM, but that range is not as well defined. Hence why we started to just draw out this area and start to note that these reactionary lows, we could probably extend it down here to capture more of the price. We're starting to see that range bound trading in the Dow. We saw some weakness in the transports. Brian has called that out over the weekly market recaps. And we're seeing that middle VPOC showcasing where value sits. So markets like to remain in this area for periods of time, and ultimately breaks from this area can lead to short covering or breakdowns leading to stop outs of the longs. So very important structure being formed this week. We have earnings to facilitate the volatility and the potential movement from these areas. And we'll see if this market has more to give, or if we're starting to see basically, once again, that cyclical nature of momentum highs into strong earnings, consolidation, and pull back into a lack of news and overall catalyst. So with that said, I'm Jarad. This is Engineering the Markets. Let's move into this trading session with a couple of trade ideas. We still have Bitcoin very strong, actually looking to test its automatic rally point of about 41.5. And we're seeing momentum in that space in the names that we trade, the miners and some of the more correlated names like Coin. So lots of opportunity here. Just focus on which ones you're going to trade and look to see if these earnings start to break the overall index trend and volatility that we've seen. So we'll talk more tomorrow. Stay tuned for pre-market prep with Carlos and Norm.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Morning, brother. I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. All right, guys, welcome. Let's get right to it, starting with our gappers list. But before we get into this, let's give Jarad a big thumbs up, guys, for going through the market, engineering the markets, and all the information he's providing for us. So big thumbs up over on YouTube for him. Highly appreciate him taking the time to go through that. Our gappers list this morning, guys, we're doing the bit of the opposite, right? So a lot of stuff in the green today. Some of the stuff that was actually down yesterday, we see Mara, Jared talked about the Bitcoin a little bit there as well towards the end. Some of the Chinese stocks that we've been watching, kind of doing a little bit of a bounce here. So we'll get into it and see what's going on there. Not so much on our gapping down list this morning. A couple of stocks here. We looked at these before. They don't trail that well. So we'll get into the details there. So talking about what we had yesterday, let's start with well, since I have the spy up, you're going to see a lot of this in the stocks that we're going to review yesterday, right? From yesterday, this downtrend. Again, the market was overall weak until about 1 o'clock or so, 2 o'clock. This started to get a bounce. But let's look at some of the stocks we had in play. Here's Billy. Very, very strong start, guys. Beautiful pop here. If you were scalping this one for a break of the highs of the pre-market, or if you're looking for a 1 minute opening range breakup, this gave it to you very, very nice. After that, guys, becomes very choppy. There's really no trading opportunity after this. You do get somewhat of a double bottom. It's not really, I'm sorry, double top. It's not really a mountain pass. It's not really clean. The wicks you can see here are not nice. It does get better later around 10:30. You can see the candles forming a lot more cleaner. And you do get a nice little drop here towards the 79 level that we had. Now here we do get a beautiful double bottom, guys. That is amazing. That is what you want to see. Look at the continuation here towards trying to get to the VWAP. Couldn't make it this time, but that's still a very beautiful run there on Billy. So we have Mara next. Also, Mara tried to get going, could not, sold down very nicely here. Then it went sideways for a little bit, just consolidating. Unlike many of the other stocks that we had, they did not get a great bounce like we saw on some of the other ones. INTC, guys, this is why INTC is tough to trade at times and why I sometimes stay away from it. I had it on my list yesterday because, again, we didn't have a lot that looked great in the pre-market. These guys actually looked okay. They had an initial good drop. Opening range breakdown here on the 5 and the 1 looked good. I like this here. This is kind of an engulfing pattern. Even if you include the pre-market candle, the last one there, try to get going, completely sells down. I will consider this if I was trading. I would consider this a good opportunity to go short if I see that right before the market open, right? And then nice continuation. Then from here, here's what gets tough with INTC. It's just the choppiness. Every candle overlapping the previous one. You don't get really nothing going here. You're kind of stuck within a range. You do have a nice bottom here that eventually you lose here. And then around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you do start to get a little bounce there. Here's Baba. Also very choppy market open. Does get better later in the day, later in the morning as it starts dropping here. Again, as many stocks, they get that little bit of a bounce and reverse around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Here's Apple. Same thing, guys. Another one that was weak yesterday. Did get a beautiful base here and it did get going. Got to the V up, so that was nice. Neo was a great short, guys. This thing just kept going. Never really looked back. Also found a base later in the day. Did not get a great bounce like some of the other stocks did, but this was an incredible short for the entire morning there. AMC was also a good short as well. Again, if you were playing short yesterday, there was a lot that was very weak because of the market, obviously, and some that gave you a good opportunity. So that is what we had. Even UPS, which normally doesn't trade very well. You can see the UPS here, beautiful opening range breakdown on the 5. Nice continuation, breaking this level of 193. I mean, look how our levels worked yesterday, guys. It's just so sweet there. 193.15 breaks that down, goes to the next level at 190. So if you had these levels on there, if you're trading this short, you had a good opportunity there to get going. So with that said, guys, good morning, Daniel, to you as well. Appreciate your super chat. So thank you for that very, very much. Appreciate the support. And as we know, Norm will talk about this a little bit about our super chat. I know you heard already. We're donating this to a charity of that we're going to pick for the month. So Norm is going to give more information later on that. But thank you for the super chat, man. Good morning to you as well and always the continued support there. Appreciate it very, very, very much. Let's get into what's coming up for this day.
Yeah, man. We've been talking about some of these same undercurrents that are building our gappers list one way or the other. Chinese names, some of them that have been hit so hard, bouncing back. It's a huge chunk of the list. On the upside this morning, they have pretty continually been on the downside. And then Bitcoin's above 40,000. As you mentioned, Jarad spoke about that, so I'm not going to get into it too much, but a lot of the beat down Bitcoin names bouncing up nicely today. Important to note that we've had some massive earnings as well, and very few of those things are actually on the gappers list. So thank you, Nathan, for the super chat over there. But the earnings plays, just a few to throw out there: AMD, Microsoft, Boeing, Google, have reported, and that's that. Now, the biggest news of the day is 2 p.m. We're going to have the FOMC rate policy decision, and that will be out as usual, as it always is, 2 p.m. this afternoon, followed by J-Powell press conference at 2:30. I anticipate, as we usually see, that after morning trading, markets will die down, become quite choppy before then, and no way in hell will I have a position on come 2 o'clock Eastern.
Yep. We've seen this play out so many times, Norm. I mean, so many times.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. All right, Nathan, thank you for that super chat, man. Appreciate it very, very much. Let's go in here, remove our stocks from yesterday, and let's get to this gappers list, guys. Let's start with what's gapping down today. So it's only two on here. SGOC this morning. Let's see what we have here. SGO. Come on now. SGOC. There we go. So here's SGOC, guys. I don't think this trades very well. Let's take a look at it just in case. Yeah, this is not good. Their dailies all over the place as well. Yesterday, it looks like they got some volume and some action here late in the day, but for the most part, just look at this chart, man. I will stay away from this. TDOC is actually down nicely today, 9.6. This could be interesting. They normally get very light. Yeah. All right. So that
they've
could
got
be interesting.
downgrades this morning. So
yeah. So you know what? This might be worth even putting as a possible, guys. We do have shares for sure. There's a level here that would be nice to get to. We're not too far from that, and then it went even further down. And we haven't been down here sometime since late May. Looks like we have been all really above this area here. So that's pretty nice. That could be interesting. But for the most part, guys, be very careful. I hope to find something better and to drop this one off the list. But they're down pretty nice today on earnings, and we'll see where that goes.
Careful, it trades very thin.
Yeah, you could tell by the volume down here, guys, how thin this is. And again, just at that price is usually not a good sign either. So be careful with that one. All right, so that covers our gap down. Let's look at our gap up. Leading the way, we have BTBT, 15 million shares flow. And this thing is on fire this morning. 7 million shares traded, 7.1. And here we're up 35%. A very interesting daily here. It looks like this would have been, what is today? Wednesday, Monday? Not Monday, but Wednesday. So Monday had a nice little pop here. Yesterday sold off, and now we're back at it again. So very interesting daily here. What's going on? Some good volume, as you can see here. This day 209. Looks like about maybe 30 yesterday, and today we'll see where it goes. But this is looking interesting. Might be the low flow of the day. BTBT. What's the catalyst on this? I wasn't here Monday.
It's Bitcoin.
Oh, this is Bitcoin.
Yep.
That's right. This is Bitcoin. So this is definitely trading nicely today. SPRT today. SPRT is popping up 25. Go ahead.
Nothing.
Oh, he has something to say. SPRT hit 25% this morning. 3.1 million shares traded. So again, very active pre-market action. 17 million shares flow, and I see this glaring at me here, guys. There's 55% short interest on trade ideas. Not sure what is posted everywhere else, but that could be some of the squeeze that's going on here with this one this morning and the last couple of days. We've seen definitely an increase in volume here. Not sure how it has been trading over the last couple of days, but pre-market very active this morning. Not looking that bad at this morning. So it is a low flow stock, so we are going to hold it at higher standards, of course. We'll put it on here. We'll come back to see if that gets any better. Here is Tau again, guys. And Norm, you'll kill me, but I did trade this short on vacation. Which we hate touching. Yeah, I did. We hate touching these type of stocks, but I'll admit I did trade it short on vacation. It was actually turned out pretty good, but I am not going to get overconfident on something like this. Be very careful, guys. It is up 16% this morning. 6.6 million shares traded, and I gotta say, if you look at the daily, this thing has been beat up so bad. But I'll tell you this: when I was on that trade, the first thing that came to mind was, man, if this stuff gets halted, and I'm stuck in this for how long? This is what happens with these type of stocks, man. You got to be in companies. You got to be very careful. So again, if you're gonna be trading this, just get in and out quickly. I mean, I don't know, just manage it properly. Be very, very careful. But the first thought when I traded this was like, man, if I get stuck in this will suck. You don't want any type of money being held for weeks and months on end. So very active, guys. I'm not gonna put it on my list, but again, we'll see where it goes here. NCTY this morning, 8.3 million shares float. We had this on our list yesterday, and it looks like you guys might have had it on Monday as well. But again, it just doesn't trade very well, guys. Look at this pre-market action. We'll look at the daily here as well. I'm sorry, how it traded yesterday. Again, this is not good at all. We had one good day. Looks like Monday was very nice. Outside of that, I don't see great volume at all. Yesterday we only had 2.8. I mean, that's just not good, guys. Steven, thank you so much for the super chat, man.
Coming in. Thank you, Steven.
Loving this style of just showing the charts while breaking down the gappers first. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. We've been doing this for quite some time, and I think we found something that works pretty good, but we're always open for suggestions. So you can send Norm and I an email if you know if of any suggestion, positive feedback. One of the feedbacks I always get is I go too fast, but I guarantee you, as you watch this show 2-3 weeks on in, it's the same thing over and over again, right? As we prepare. So as we speed up and go fast, you'll get it. Trust me, you'll get it. So don't give up on it if you're brand new. Stick with it for about 2-3 weeks, and you'll see you'll be flying with us through this as well. Stephen, thank you for that. Futu this morning, they are up 9.6, so a big pop today. 938,000 shares traded. This stock scares me, guys. I never traded it. I just don't know how to manage the risk on it. I think it moves too much, and also could be kind of thin, as Norm will say. So again, I don't usually put it on my list. If you like it, by all means, add it to yours. It all depends really on your trading style and your risk management, right? The way I trade, that's just not a good one. Also, low flow stocks, to be very careful. Here's Tiger. Here's another one. This morning, they are up 9.4, 809,000 shares traded. Pre-market not looking great. I'll put it as a possible. I know there's a few people that like this one. Well, I'm not sure if they still do, but I'll put it on here, up 9.4. Let's see where it goes. PDD, this is up nicely, 8.1 this morning, 455,000 shares traded. From experience and doing this show, we know that this one doesn't trade very well. It's not a good intraday trading stock. And yesterday, yes, I know this looks nice. I won't give it too much credit, guys. We had a lot of things that did this, right? You could have traded a NEO, you could have traded something else, you would have got this drop. So I'm not going to give them that much credit for trading well there. This is normally what this looks like. But today they're up 8%, so we'll see. That's a good pop. It's a good bounce. They're also on the daily, look very, very extended towards the downside here. They're definitely oversold on the daily here, maybe due for a pullback. We'll see what goes on here. Right now, they're showing a little bit of strength, up 8.1. All right, well, we have a bunch of the Bitcoin stuff on here, and I'm going to, out of CAN, out of Riot, out of Mara, I think Mara is usually the one I like. Usually Mara or Riot. We'll keep... all right, yeah, see you. Let's block this Geo guy here. We have a clown in the mix. Mara. So bye-bye. Mara,
sorry, yeah. I was looking at something else.
It's all good, man.
I missed it.
It's all good. So see you there. And Mara, guys, I'll keep Mara on deck out of all three here. Here's BA this morning. BA's looking good. Good pre-market action. Great volume, up 5.2. Yes, BA's in play. Do they have anything going on, Norm? I mean, this is a big pop.
They had earnings.
Oh, yeah. They had earnings. Beautiful thing. Yeah. All right, BA's in play. We'll keep them on there. I think I'm going to stop here, guys. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on there. I'll look at some favorites. I know Neo's a good one. People like. I like Neo. I think he traded very well yesterday. We got insane volume today, guys. 2 million shares traded. I'm going to add this on here. That is good to go. Neo is good. You also have XBEV, which is up nicely. Not as much volume, so I'll keep Neo. AMD is another nice one we like to see. AMD this morning, 1 million. That's great volume too. Man, I like AMD too. That's good. JD, let's see what JD got going on today. They are up 2.3. Great volume as well. Everything's just bouncing nicely here this morning. I know Baba was nice. We'll put that as a possible. You know what? Let me just go to the room. I'll keep going here. Norm, what do you like this morning?
That you don't have on your list, I'm not aware of anything. Microsoft, did you look at Microsoft? They had earnings. They haven't moved a lot yet, which I actually kind of like. We'll see what happens with it.
Yes, I like the daily here too, man. That looks good. That is nice. I think we can add Microsoft today for sure. Yeah, you're right. You're so right about that, Norm. You don't want this running, man. You want it hanging around here. Wait for us to get into the market open and get that volume,
I
right?
want it to take off before I even sit
Yeah.
down at my desk at 4:30 or 5 in the morning.
Exactly. All right, let's take it to the room. Let's start with Gary BB. You are giving us PFE's heating up. Let's take a look. PFE here. Yeah, for 546,000, they're up slightly this morning, getting above that previous day close. Uh, Again, if you like trade, I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it trades all that clean for me as far as the intraday stock.
Yeah.
So I stay away
They
from
had,
it.
they had
You know,
earnings, I believe, this morning. If
mhm.
not, it was last night. Either way,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate trading this
I
stock.
know. I know, man. It's brutal. Looks like pre-market this morning they had earnings. So if you like it, guys, go for it. I don't. I just hate it too. So not good for me. LT, you mean TRY or is LTRY?
No, it's Tilray is up
Tilray, right?
there.
Okay, Tilray. Let's see here. Yeah, Tilray looks good, guys. I want to put this on here. Maybe it's a possible. I thought we did. I miss that one. I saw it on the list, on the top of the list. Yeah, I missed this right there. Or maybe we stopped right short of it. TRY, I do like that one. It's up nicely today, guys, 7%. It's got some good pre-market action and volume here this morning. Daily looks good for a possible bounce. That one is nice today, so that's good. AMD, we do have on deck. Thank you. Apple, yes. I think Apple's a good one to have, even as a possible. They're getting not a little bit choppy, but they're kind of stuck within this consolidation of their all-time highs here in the bottom of this 145 or so. So I think as a possible would be nice. I would like Apple to start breaking out or start hitting higher here. That's usually what provided some good clean moves. So we'll see. So that's a possible for now. I think we have some really good ones on our main list this morning. TRY, we have that is good. Thank you, Apple. Yes, we'll put it on there. Logan is giving us GRVI today. Oops.
Low float. No
Low
shares
float.
for short right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Pulling back. If it gets cranking again, maybe. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. This it's got to end up holding somewhere, guys. Again, I don't like when they do it so early on. You get this pop, and then you start getting this drop here, and some of them never come back, right? So they'll start giving you this fake outs of an ABCD pattern or some kind of support. They'll do it right at a moving average, and then it just collapses on you a couple of cents. Yeah, I don't like that. So if it gets better, throw it back out to us. But right now, the volume is just heading down. Not fun for us at the moment. Neo is good. We have that one on deck. Starbucks. I think Starbucks was reporting at some point.
yeah, last night, I believe.
Yeah, they're down 3% here, 45,000 shares, which is okay. Starbucks usually doesn't trade a whole lot of volume, even on earnings, even on a catalyst, unless something really major. They don't trade a whole lot in the pre-market. Could be interesting. I do like this drop here. Yeah, it could be interesting. Let's put it on here. It's a hit or miss. They can trade very, very well. We've done some really good trading on Starbucks, and then we've seen them just do nothing. But this drop, I like this drop. We'll have to see how the pre-market continues on this. And the thing with Starbucks, you really have to wait for the market open to see what kind of volume you're going to get. You might not see anything here during the pre-market. In Fi this morning, this is more of a, I won't say it's a penny stock, but the price is very low on this one.
Thought you were starting to call me an incel.
So I am really not sure on this one here, guys. What's the flow for this? 86 is a higher flow too. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna take it off my list. I don't like a few things about this. I don't like where the price is at. I don't like the way the pre-market actions has all this volume and we're moving just a couple of cents. And it's not even a low flow where you can expect, to scalp it quickly. Just be very, very careful with this one. Today could be a whole different ballgame though. If you look at the volume, we're already hitting 10 million for the most part. That's what a quarter. They do a quarter of that throughout the entire daily here. It looks like. So again, we'll have to see where that goes today. All right, TRY, we do have it. Very good. Let's head on down. Okay. Yep, that recent IPO. So we have is gravy or is gravy a ticker? Gravy. That's great. That's actually gravy, not a tick. Okay. The CCL. Let's look at Oso Toro is giving us CCL this morning. Yeah, I like CCL. Yes, I like CCL for a possible breakout. It's got to get the strength though. Look at this consolidation we're getting, and we've been looking at this the last couple of days. Been trading very well. It has a couple of green days followed by some red days, green days, and now we're holding even at a tighter range. Looks like that could be very nice if we get just some slight positive movement here for CCL. Volume 442, up 1%. That just reminds me to look at American Airlines. What are we doing here? Nothing like CCL. This is really not in play today. The daily doesn't even look that great, and there's not that volume there. Oscar's giving us DD today. We'll take a look here. DD this morning up 4%, 2.3. Again, I'm horrible at looking at this stock because I personally don't like the way it trades. So again, it's just one of these stocks I stay away from. So you got some volume here. I don't really like the pre-market action. The daily looks better than anything else because you got this kind of this support happening here for a possible breakout. So maybe that could be interesting. But outside of that, guys, there's not much else I like.
I haven't liked that. I haven't liked that thing ever since it IPO'd. It's traded like garbage.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Maybe it changes at some point, but
yeah, no, I think it's garbage as well, guys. So again, good pre-market action here. You got some volume, but I think it's garbage, so we'll skip on that. All right, guys, let's stop here. Let's look over on YouTube. What do our friends have this morning? Serge, you are giving a spot. Let's start there. So Spotify, what do we have here? They are down 5.3, so taking a bit of a hit this morning. 70,000 shares traded. Now, my issue with Spot, guys, is one of these stocks
this morning.
Earnings, all right. They're very difficult to trade. I mean, they had earnings today. That could be a whole different story. But look at this volume, right? Volume is very important to us, right? Especially for the way we trade. They're barely getting, to 2.5. 1.2 seems to be the average, maybe a little bit lower.
I don't even think it's that.
Yeah, I know you can pull up the exact number.
1.5 is the average, so 1.46. Yeah, just watch out.
So what that does is, right, I know this candles is moving from 265, guys, all the way down to we'll say 255. It's a $10 candle on just 1.5 million shares traded. That price action is not going to look pretty. I'll tell you that right now. It's just not going to look pretty. We know for a fact. So that's not good for us. Again, I don't like it, so I'm going to stay away from that one. All right, so that's Spot. What else do we have, guys, here? Chewy, CHWY. CHWY. They are no volume. Not really in play today. LSID. Let's see here. LSID. No, is that the right ticker? Oh, yeah, it is. It just took a bit too low here. It took a bit too low because it's not looking good at all. So my platform is trying to avoid loading this for me. Yeah, guys, this is not good. I don't like it.
Is that the latest DAS update? If the chart sucks, it won't load.
Yeah, it should load like with this thing right on there. Like just kind of stay away from this. So I don't like that, Douglas. We can find something better to trade, man. I guarantee it. Facebook. Let's take a look there. Facebook had a big move the last couple of days. I saw that. They could be interesting. Facebook could be interesting, maybe a good possible. I like their daily. Their pre-market action is usually pretty quiet, and they can still put in a good move. So maybe a possible. We'll have to see. You know what? This could be a good one for later down the line, around 11 o'clock. If it doesn't do anything great right at the market open, let's see if the market trends. If this thing does want to break the highs here of 375, right? So maybe later down the line, that could be a good one to watch. For those new guys, I know this list seems long, but we always mention it, Norm mentioned it as well. This is our main list right here, right? We like to keep a secondary list because sometimes we're trading the entire day. We're in our chat room all the way to the close. Something in here might come up that could be active, could hit our scanners. So, after we do our main trading, we look at these here. We're focused on our main list and whatever main list you have. Then around 11:30, when things start dying down, volume starts calming down, you can kind of look at your secondary. Let's go through this and see if anything's looking good there for a possible reversal right around 11:30. So don't feel like you have to have all these tickers on your chart, on your list, and be ready to go at 9:30. That's impossible and really not a good way to trade. Let's do a few more here, two more here. We have Frank here giving us BTEX this morning. No volume here. Horrible daily as well, so no good. Netflix, what's happening there? Netflix today, no volume, which is not really a big killer for Netflix because they tend not to get great volume in the pre-market. If you look at yesterday, look at the volume in the pre-market, absolutely nothing. And this seems like a decent trading day for Netflix, right? So not bad. Got a nice reversal here going up. So it's just a whole different type of a different animal to trade. It reminds me a little bit more of Baba and that type of stock where you really have to know how to trade it. So I'm not going to add it to my list, guys, but if you want to keep an eye on it, maybe put it on your secondary. All right, let's stop here, guys. Let's go over to our announcements. If you haven't done so already, guys, we appreciate you guys hitting that thumbs up. It helps us out a whole bunch here in the channel. So really appreciate you doing that. If you're new, consider subscribing, right? Consider subscribing. We do this every Monday through Friday starting at 8 a.m. with engineering the markets all the way into the market open. And lately we've been having Brian and Andrew trading live. So make sure you hit that thumbs up to support the channel. Highly appreciate it.
Yep. All right. So Peter's webinar, if it's not posted already, it will be very soon. And then tonight we don't have Dr. Katz. We're going to have an Ask Me Anything with Andrew. Dr. Katz unfortunately had a family emergency. He's traveling and won't be able to make that. Apologies. Didn't get a chance to update that card. All right, member trade of the day. If you want to participate in this, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day with entries and exits, of course, and add any commentary you can to describe the trade. Post it on Twitter, tag at Bearable Traders, at MikeB_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use the hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. We will announce the winner every day on Twitter and in the room, and then the team will vote over the weekend all the trades of the day and announce trade of the week on Monday. If you're watching on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, use the promo code PREMARKET24 when you sign up for the test drive, aka intro membership. It'll give you 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. Doesn't auto renew or turn into a different kind of membership or anything. It just cancels itself. If you want to become a member or stay a member, you actively have to go choose a membership level to continue on. Also, celebration of launching our options content, we are offering the monthly elite membership at half off, which puts it at the same price as the basic membership for the first month, and then it'll charge you the normal amount going forward. That code is options50 if you decide to use that. And before we jump into the rest, as Carlos mentioned, all the super chats. If you guys have been around and you've heard, we're going to be picking a charity for each month and donating the super chat money revenue from that, because this show was never intended to be. Carlos and I weren't looking to be streamers when we created this. It's just giving back a little bit to the trading community, a little notoriety for BBT, obviously. And we're not trying to make a living off doing this show. We're just doing what we normally do every morning. That having been said, I will announce whatever charity it is we pick at the end of this week or at the beginning of next week. Last I looked, for the month of July, we have about $170, I think it was, in super chat money. So Andrew's going to match that dollar for dollar. That does not count the last 2 days. So any super chats that have come in the last 2 days don't count. And we'll announce. I'll tell you how much it is that's being donated, and we're gonna have some fun with this. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Nope, Chris. We're gonna find an individual charity to directly donate from Bearable Traders. Thank you, though.
Yep. All right, excellent, guys. Let's get to it. Let's look at our list. So right now on our main list, we have Mara, we have BA, Neo, AMD, Microsoft, and CCL. I think these are looking pretty good. If you look at the numbers, all nicely gapping up, and some decent volume in here as well, so that's good there. Secondary list, let's chop this up a little bit. So we have Starbucks. I think Starbucks is good. I like their drop here. I like their daily. I think we can get some movement out of this. We'll keep that on there. I do like Apple as well as a secondary here. We'll see where it goes. We're kind of getting into this, I want to say it's a rather large consolidation. I don't think it's a consolidation. We're just getting some swings here because of the market. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes, if we can get back up to this 150, or are we looking to head lower here. This morning, pretty much flat right now, but they got some insane volume. How many we have up here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we might move Apple up. Let's see. TRY looks good, guys. Getting a nice little move there. That is nice. PDD, it's on here. I normally don't like this one, but I think it's a good possible today. If you like to trade it, it's a good one also. TIGR, I know their pre-market looks, again, it's just a little choppy the last couple of minutes. Trying to break out now. We'll see where it goes. Oh, there we go. We got something going. Let's see if that's going to hold. Yeah, that could be good. Baba is good, guys, getting some movement there. TDOC, I'm going to remove TDOC because I know it's difficult to trade. I like the drop they're having there this morning, but they're a very tough stock to trade. So I'm going to get rid of them. And I think Facebook's a good one. Let's take a look at our low flows this morning. SPRT, 3.4 million shares right now. So that's looking okay. BTBT, I think looks a little bit better. I'm going to remove this one, guys. Again, it just seems like it's losing steam here. So if it gets better, we can always look at it again, or if it can hit our scanners. But I think I'm going to go with BTBT. I like the daily here for a possible continuation. If we can hold, right? We got to hold here, or at least here, right? If we start, breaking down from there, might not be fun. But if we can hold there, we can try to test our pre-market high. And we also have a most recent high here of 950. So let's see where that goes there. All right, so I think we got a pretty good secondary list for this morning. Here is Mara. Let's do some levels, guys. I think the levels we have now might work. We have 30, 85, which is nice, right? Below that, we have the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days right on there. Pre-market high is basically the low from yesterday, so that's good. We got this 28.58. Where is this coming from? Okay, I see that right on there. It's a good area. I think we can keep it on there. Our price is kind of flirting with this 28.58 right now, but you see on here, guys, you got a great area of support happening here, a little bit of resistance and more support and resistance. So I think that 28.58 is a good level for Mara. Below, we do have our pre-market low hanging around 28.22. So we'll slam a level there as well. I think that's good to go. And then outside of that, I don't think you really need to add anything else. Towards the bottom of that, you see your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Just taking care of you there. So you're good there. Here's BA this morning. Wow, BA is really cranking, guys. High of the pre-market right now, we're looking at 235.89. And BA is one of these stocks that can trade very, very well. And right now, they're putting in an amazing pre-market action, 1.1 million shares traded and up 5.6. That's pretty good. Slightly above that, let's look at the daily. Let's take a look at towards the left here. We do have this one right on here, 240.65. That is nice. We'll slam a level there. You can see the area of resistance happening there a couple of times here and here, so that's good. Then above that, we have another area of a resistance as well right over here and support. We got some support happening here, and some resistance in this area as well. So that 246.20, that is good towards the top as well. Now towards the bottom, if we were to lose this, some of this pre-market highs we have here, another good level here, 230.52. Nice area of support and resistance. Got a couple of days hitting that on there. But if you move to the left, that becomes even more important. You can see great area of support here. You got some resistance happening here. I know this is not the best daily. You can see it's a little bit choppy in here. But you got a couple of touches on there. So I want to keep that on there. That 230.52 looks good. Then outside of that, guys, we do not need to add anything else. Don't make this too complicated or don't over add indicators to your things. Just makes things confusing. But here you have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, so you're pretty much covered there as well. Again, great pre-market action right now in BA, looking very, very strong this morning, guys. Here we have Neo. Neo had a nice drop yesterday. Today, let's get rid of some of these levels. I think we have way too much stuff going on here. That looks better. So towards the top, guys, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, you're covered there. All you need to add right now is the high of the pre-market. We're sitting around 41.44. So we'll throw that there, 41.44. We could even move this a little bit higher if you want to be more exact. There it is, 41.44. And then towards the bottom here, guys, we do have your low from yesterday right on there, your previous day close line. So your low of your pre-market, slightly above those 2 levels there, the previous day close and or around that, and your low of your pre-market and low from yesterday. So that's good. I'm going to mark down 40.27. No, that's not the low of the pre-market. No. There we go. This is the low of the pre-market, 38.90. There it is. Low of the pre-market, 38.90, right below the previous day close line. So that's good. And I think we're set there towards the top. Now, there's a big gap here, right? You see this? You got this big gap right on there. The only level you really have on there is this one here, 40.51. We'll slam a level there just to have something in there. We got a nice little bounce off of that we had recently the last couple of days. So we'll throw a level there. We'll see how that plays out. In the pre-market already, you're seeing some touches around that 40.54. So that could be interesting there. All right, so that's Neo, guys. Great volume this morning, 2.3. Let's see where this is going to go. AMD today pushing a little higher now, 1.2 million shares traded. So they got great volume. And we're stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. And I believe our levels that we have here are actually pretty good. We have 94.44, which is the high right here. And towards the bottom, we do have 87.51. And then in between the price action, just look at all the levels you have already. You have the lows and highs from the last 2 trading days. You have the previous day close. I don't think you need to add anything more. If you want to add something because you're feeling itchy to hit that button, let's just add one at right here, the low of the pre-market over at 91.75. That's all you need to add. So don't add too many things to this. Looks very good already. Here's Microsoft, guys. A great volume on Microsoft. This pre-market action is actually very good for Microsoft. They have 1 million. They're up 1.2. And as we mentioned, we want this hanging around here until the market opens so we could take advantage of a possible breakout if that is what is in the cards today. So high of the pre-market this morning, we are looking at a 291. And this is all-time highs, right? This is 291.85. So this is yeah, Microsoft is just crushing it. So looking pretty good right now. Great volume, 1.2 up this morning. So that looks good. Now towards the bottom, guys, again, you're pretty much set highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. And you also have your previous day close on there. So we don't have to add anything more to this. Here is CCL, guys. Also, I like the daily on CCL. Look at the range we have here. We have a nice consolidation happening here. The last 2 days, we've just been pushing up against the top of that, right? So we're not really even dropping down to test the bottom of this consolidation. So that is nice. So with that said, let's see what's the high of the pre-market here, 23.30. This one right on here. So we'll just mark that. But again, overall, you have a whole a line here of days just hitting that 23.30, right? So that area is just a great area of resistance. We would love to see that break out of that with some good volume. The volume is a little bit on the lighter side. By now, CCL, we should be having, you know, 1 million plus. We only have 611. But that's okay. We'll see where it goes from here. 24.02, guys, is a good level there. You can see area of resistance and support. So I'm going to throw a level there as well. If we do decide to hit the rockets here, 24.97, also looking pretty good here as well as far as daily levels. So we're set with CCL. Let's take a look at Starbucks. We have that one here. I think that one is good. Apple is still very good. TLRY looking nice this morning, guys. Beautiful breakout here. You can actually, if you like TLRY, if you have the space, you can move this one up. I already have way too many, and I don't see anyone on here that I can drop that the secondary list looks a little bit better. Maybe CCL. CCL is a great daily, but the pre-market action is not great. Maybe an Apple can fill that spot, or TLRY maybe. But you know what? We'll do levels for TRY because I really like this the way this is looking right now. I'm actually going to move it up. I know it's one too many for what I like to see, but I think it's moving well in the pre-market to keep an eye on it, right? And almost 2 million shares traded. It is up 10%. Yeah, we got to move this up. Towards the bottom, guys, you're pretty good there. Highs and lows got you covered. And then towards the top here, we do have 1453, and we also have 1489. So we're pretty good there as far as levels on the daily. And again, moving very nice this morning. So, all right, that is good. That is what we have. Low flow BTBT continues to, I don't know. It's got to hold here. If it starts just trashing down, it's just no good for us. But we'll come back and take a look at that. Let's take a look at our moderators lineup and what do we have here for today? What do people like? So let's bring this over. As I am switching this over and readjusting it, please hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so on YouTube. It helps us out a whole lot. Thank you very much for doing that and supporting the channel here. So with that said, let's scroll up. What do we have? Thor. There it is, Thor. So what do we have? JD, Neo, Apple, AMD, BA, and Baba. Dima is looking at JD, LI, AMD, Apple. Wait, Thor's liking 2 things. Oh, no, you're saying tickers with high volume this morning. All right, and then your watch list is actually CCL, BA, Neo, and Apple. Tiffany's looking at BA, Microsoft, AMD. Secondary list TLRY. Peter is here's the IPOs that are coming out for today. A couple of SPACs, so you can see that there. I won't read those out, but you have them there. Mike is looking at Microsoft, Apple, NBA this morning. John looking at Baba, BA, and PDD. Peter's list: Apple, Microsoft, AMD, CCL. Secondary list: TLRY, BA, TAO, MCD, V, and PFE this morning. So that is for Peter. And Eamon is looking at Apple, CVX, Twitter, INTC, secondary list, and NVIDIA, Piton, and WFC. Brian this morning likes Neo, JD, Apple, TLRY, and Mara. That is looking very good, very similar to my list as well there from Brian. So, all right, it's good. So we have a very nice list. Someone asked me, I think it was it Andy? Who asked me in YouTube chat? Let's see here. Yes, Andy. So Andy asked, why is LSID so bad? So let's take a look at LSID. And this is very important, guys. We got 2 minutes to do this. So what happens is you have to just know what style you're trading, right? That's very important. You got to know what your strategy is and what your style of trading is. If we look at this, if you've been through our education center, you've been through our courses, you will know that this stock doesn't fit well with the stuff that we're trying to do, right? With the way we trade, with the strategies that we teach. So when I look at something like this, it just doesn't fit our criteria. The daily is a little choppy, right? Daily's not looking great. The pre-market action here is not all that great. You're starting to look a little bit better here, but outside of that, look at all the gaps you have in here. So that doesn't look great at all. Now, can this get better? Can this become the best trading stock today? Or based on your trading style, can this be something that fits your trading style? Absolutely. So that's very, very important. When we say something sucks, something's bad, something's garbage, don't take it personal. It's just based on what we are doing as far as our trading style, right? I always tell people there's no right way to trade the markets, right? There's no right way to trade the markets. For someone else, this stock here could be perfect, exactly what they're looking for. Even if it has no volume, if the day looks choppy, even if it's whatever, this could be exactly what they're looking for based on their strategy. And man, that's a-okay with all of us. So you got to first find out what your strategy is. What are you looking for? What are your criteria? And then find that stock, right? Very, very important. Once you do that, then you're golden. So be very mindful of that. When we're making this list, we're making it based on the stuff that we teach in our education center. I'll give you a great example because we got a couple of seconds here while Brian and Andrew get set up to go live. I want to show you, well, not that, it's too much. Let's go right here. I want to show you what, let's look at John and Mike. And I picked those two guys because they trade very similar. Look at their watch list, right? They're both watching BA, and for the most part, they usually both watch the same thing. Notice Mike and John, their lists are very small, and they usually watch the same thing. I'm surprised John doesn't have Apple here, but normally he would have that. But their list is very, 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 very close because they trade very similar. If you look at now, let's take a look at Eamon's list. Eamon's list is off the wall. I mean, you look at every other moderators, his list is completely different, and he does very well. He's an amazing, amazing trader, right? He watches completely different stuff. For example, this nobody here has SCVX. And I guarantee you, there's something he's looking for that matches a specific strategy that he likes, that he's going to put CVS on X on his list and do very well. So again, very important, guys. When we're looking at something, we're basing it on the strategy that we're looking to trade, right? So just keep that in mind. Don't feel like you have to match our list specifically exactly, or don't feel like whatever you have on your list is not good enough because either none of the moderators have it on their list. You got to focus on the strategy first and then find the stocks that are going to do well, that are going to be in play for that type of strategy. So very, very important. All right, with that said, guys, we're going to have Brian and Andrew next trading live. Make sure we hit that thumbs up there. We highly, highly appreciate the support as usual. And again, if you're new, definitely consider subscribing. We are live every Monday through Friday when the market is open, starting at 8 a.m. So thank you for that. Guys, for those for our members, we had an amazing webinar yesterday with Peter. Again, he's done that webinar before, but every time I watch it, it's just a great reminder of how to position yourself correctly when you're trading. So if you haven't seen that webinar, it will be posted later today. So make sure you take a look at that if you haven't done so already, especially for newer members. If you're new, you have not, if you're struggling with your position sizing, that is a good one to definitely keep an eye on. All right, well, we are set here, guys. Just a couple of seconds for the transition to happen. So over on YouTube, do not drop off. We're going to continue into the market open. Right now, our list is looking pretty good. I'm okay. I'm happy with our list. We have Mara here looking nice, up nicely this morning. We have BA, which BA is looking great, guys, looking really good today. We have Neo on here also. Neo's volume is insane on Neo. I'm hoping for a possible breakup, but you know what? If we get a drop here on Neo, either way, this volume is great. That we're getting right now. We just needed to pick a direction, right? That's all we need for Neo. AMD here, looking good as well. Great volume, guys. AMD is very strong this morning. Hopefully they can get a breakout. Let's take a quick look at what the market is doing at the moment. And right now the market, the SPY is just up slightly. So we'll see where it goes here, guys. Up slightly. How crazy is the SPY? I mean, look at this. Got this drop here. Bounces right back to where it left off, and now we're looking to make all new highs. I mean, this is just the trend is unbelievable, guys. The trend is your friend. The SPY is just insane. So we'll see if we will hit that all-time highs today. Looking very good right now to do so. And when that happens, pay attention to stuff like Apple. Stocks that have been very strong the last couple of days, like weeks, that can actually go with the market there as well. So be on the lookout for that. All right, anything else we missed? I think we're pretty much set. Good morning, Brian. How are you doing today?
Oh, good morning, everybody. Morning, Carlos. I'm good.
Excellent. Guys, I'm going to drop off. I'll be in the chat room and on YouTube chat, so I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. So we get the Tilray's popping here. JD's popping up here. So we've got the looks like the Chinese stocks are making a bit of a come back here today. Probably no news, probably just bargain hunting, and looks like all the indexes are up today. That's right. I was going to post in the room master chart list. Sorry, had a busy day yesterday. Didn't get around to doing that, but I will do that today. So I'm looking at, I'm just keeping an eye on KWeb, which is the ETF for the Chinese internet stocks. It's popping up here. It's above yesterday's high right now. It's well above yesterday's high. But some of the individual names, JD, Billy's the one that's up the most. Baidu's up quite a bit. JD's up over 5%, and Baba's only up 3%. So if you look at all of the Billy, Baba, Baidu, all the B's, Baba, JD, they're all up, and JD keeps hitting the scanner here along with Tilray. So I think we're going to get a pretty epic short squeeze at the open on some of these Chinese internet names. Or probably a lot of them are pretty heavily shorted now. Nothing interesting on the low float front here. KWeb still keeps moving up here. All right. Just get things set up. How's everyone doing this morning? Anybody trading? Anybody trading yet? Trading the pre-market? There isn't really. Well, I guess you could be trading this KWeb breakout or JD breakout. Nice. AMD. didn't really like the way AMD traded yesterday, and then Peter told us we shouldn't be trading it in the pre-market. So, or not the pre-market, the open. Baba, trading Baba. Yeah. Well, definitely the Chinese stocks are squeezing here. And we got 7 minutes to the open. So yeah, possibly. It might be a little bit more predictable at the open because of the earnings last night. So Apple's off a little bit on earnings. Hugo, it's there's a couple ways you can trade it. You can trade yen, which is YINN, so Yankee India in India, November. That would be the Chinese long, and it's a beta ETF. So you get a little bit more juice out of that one. Or if you just wanted to trade the Chinese internet names, K like kilo, web, WEB. So KWeb or a yin. Yeah, so yeah, I had, I was going to, maybe I'll put Novin up there. Yeah, Tilray's still moving up here. Probably the pot sector might be CGC's up a little bit. All right. I shall put that in the room when I have a second here. Yeah, yin is looking strong here. So just be careful as we get to the open. There's usually you get some stocks that have been strong at the open get a little bit of selling here. Right before the open. Good morning, Andrew. Why can I not copy this? It doesn't matter. Tilray looks really strong. It looks quite interesting. JD or KWeb, either one to play for opening range breakout. Same with Tilray, opening range breakout to the upside. That's kind of what I'm looking for here. Neo's probably going to be good too. I don't know what's going on with Mara. Doesn't look that interesting right now. Andrew is asking Carlos for a link. Link to what? Are your speakers on? Oh, maybe you can't talk to me. Okay, so you guys can hear me because I can't hear Andrew. Okay, well, that's weird. Okay, well, okay, I'll wait. We got a minute and a half to the open. Good, I'm glad you can hear me. I thought I would, no, I can't. Glad you can hear me because I thought I was talking to myself for 10 minutes. All right, well, it looks like I can't hear Andrew still, so well, I know you guys can. I just can't hear him. All right, the market's open. I'm looking at T-Ray. Well, JD's just blasted off here. I just took a long on Tilray on that little pullback. See if it holds. Still long Tilray here. See what it does.
Okay, so
now I can hear you.
yeah, sorry about that. Quickly, yeah, there was a link that I lost. So, all right, so still waiting. Apple is really weak. Neo could be an opening range breakout. I'm taking a long on Neo at 41.13. Neo long opening range breakout. Let's see if you can. I don't like the price action. Damn it. Let's see if it holds the weave up or not. Damn.
Apple's.
I'm getting out of Neo. Stopped out on Neo. It's just rejected the high of the day really bad. Tilray is a strong. Tilray.
Yeah, but I'm still long Tilray.
I'm getting a long as well, 1440. I'm getting it stopped out on Neo with a really bad loss. So see what we can do. I'm long Tilray. Opening range break up, 1450. There you go. Sold some up here.
Nice. Just selling some as well.
I think it's gonna go higher, so I'm gonna hold some here. Daily chart look like. Oh yeah, I believe it. Look at that.
Nice.
Believe it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Getting out some more. Done. Good. Beauty. I think it's gonna go to 15.
Right. Just selling some more. Sold some more here at 75.
Excellent. That was a really bad loss I had on Neo, but that's a really good profit I'm getting here now. That's good. Fuck.
That is good.
Sehr gut. Sehr gut.
Is that good?
As our German friends are saying. I think it's going to go through 15. I'm actually adding some here. Let's see if we can get to 15 on Tilray.
Wow. I got short some Apple. Still dropping really here. So I'm just going to cover it here, cover some here. See if we can lose 43. S1 is right here.
Let's see. So I got JD's doing a consolidation. Look at I want to look at Tilray and see what's going to happen.
Just covered some more Apple, just right below 43 there. Okay, here we go. Tilray.
It's a really good chance it goes through 15. Let's see what the pullback does.
Looking good, baby.
Bastard Neo really stopped me out. I got a big size in Neo. Damn it. Let's see what Tilray is doing. Tilray is, I think, we really want to get to 15. What's the news on Tilray?
Earnings. It had earnings.
Yeah. Really good chance that goes to 15.
Yeah. Just covered some more Apple. I'm just about out of it. Yeah, nice, Mark. Way to go. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to drop at first. And then it just market open and they just hit the sell button.
Yeah, another ad on Tilray. Let's see if you can get to 15.
Yeah, Tilray. Becky.
It's a little bit tricky because I don't want to see anything else at this stage.
Well, Becky's taking
Apple's bouncing back. Looking at the Neo, I don't know, just getting a little bit emotional with this Neo. I don't want to, if above 41 possibly would be a long, but it's just I think Hillary is going to go through 15. It certainly looks like it.
Wow, JD's rolling over here.
Selling some at 14.93, guys.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get to 13.
Just because I like the way it traded pre-market, and then I just saw it breaking out right at the open. So just what caused me to, I really like the way it traded. Just, I don't know, you can call it feel.
Yeah, Hillary is going to go through 15.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I have big size on it, so selling a little bit more here now.
Yeah, just selling more here. See if we can get through 90. Now if we can get through 15. Here we go. Didn't get filled. Didn't get filled. There it got filled.
I'm holding the line. I'm holding the line.
You holding the line? Excellent.
Yeah. Diamond hands.
Excellent.
Diamond hands.
I'm short Neo.
Neo bat piece of garbage. AMC is popping up. Let's take a look at the AMC, see what the AMC doing. AMC got the WeWap. I'm going to take a small size on AMC at 3740.
Come on,
Neo
Neo.
is really weak.
Neo's going to lose it. Let's lose 40 now here.
The rate is going to go to 1505. I'm going to get that. I got 1,000 shares on AMC. I might add more if it really holds the WeWap. Fill rate is going to still going higher, 1520-ish. I got
there we go.
I got a small 1,000 share on AMC. I want to see if AMC
covered some on Neo.
Very nice, Neo. Piece of garbage. IWM is strong today, eh?
Yeah, it is.
It
is.
Good. As our my Canadian friend says, eh?
SPY is dropping.
Okay, so this AMC was a bad idea. I'm glad I got only 1,000 shares, so I'm getting out of it.
I'm all out of Neo. It might turn around here. KWeb is back at the VWAP.
So yeah, I'm done with my day. I had a really bad loss on Neo, but I have a really good profit on Tilray, so I'm very positive. That's good. I loaded up TNA last night, yesterday on the other account. It popped up in 20 grand. That's
nice.
That was a really good one. That was a really good one.
Nice.
So I'm just holding this IWM, see what's doing. Maybe I'll sell 2,000 shares here, see what we did there. Yeah. I'm selling another 1,000 shares here just in case.
Apple's looking like it's trying to hold here. We'll see what the SPY does, but maybe Apple takes a bit of a turn here.
GRVI.
We'll see. It's a little bit early for a reversal. Facebook's red.
GRVI is it's that one. I'm getting a long on GRVI just for fun. This is a low float stock. Be careful. Looks like I'm getting a long on GRVI, small size, just to be part of the history. That's a garbage.
Still watching Apple, just seeing if it holds here.
I like the
I don't
volume on
think it's going
GRVI.
to.
Tilray is still going, eh? Still have some
Yeah.
Tilray going. Selling some Tilray at 15.20. This one is holding.
Yeah, I still have
see if we can-
still have some Tilray. I'm just going to hold it here. Small size.
Adding some on GRVI. It's careful. This is a low float stock, low price stock.
I just went long some Apple. 42.72.
Apple double bottom, yeah.
Maybe. It's a little early for a double bottom. But it's Apple, so we'll see if it can hold here. Yeah, it's very early. Yes, Peter, I know.
I don't like the price action on GRVI, so I'm getting out of it. It might go up, but I'm just getting out of it. So
Finger on the trigger with Apple here. If it just starts to break down again, I'll pop out of it. Really tight stop here because this is a double bottom. Hopefully it is a double bottom.
It does definitely look like it. I'm getting with
Like
you
I
on
said,
Apple at 142.80. I'm getting with you on there.
The timing
They're
isn't
long.
great. The timing isn't great, but it's but Apple always has a. Here we go.
I'm getting something with you on that. See if we can get that.
See if we can get back up here. I'd be looking for 143.30. That's the 9 moving average.
The Qs are really sitting up. Why?
Yeah, I think
Why?
everybody's getting a little bit nervous.
For interest rates?
Well, just interest rates, Delta variant. I mean,
That's one. And so that's why everyone wants to buy Vid. Is that?
yeah. I'm getting out of Apple. I'm out of Apple. I don't know if it's going to hold here.
No, well, the Qs are really weak. That's the only thing that
Yeah.
concerns me. QQQ selling off really hard. So see what we can do.
It still might hold here,
Yeah, it might hold.
but I don't know. Like I said, it's a little early for a double bottom.
Yeah. AMD is getting destroyed. What's happening with that?
Yeah, a lot of stuff starting to go red here. Oh, maybe Apple is going to go. I don't know. It just feels heavy here, especially with, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to get in it. I'm back in it, small size. See if we can pop.
I'm actually getting out of it. Sorry. Just don't like it. I just got out of it. It's just, it's too early for it. Let me get out of Tilray. I'm getting out of my Apple. I lost money on it, but that's okay. Neo, to be honest with you, Neo, I don't know, man. This Neo thing is a little bit.
Yeah, I don't like the way Neo's trading right now. I mean, I did get a little bit of a drop on it. Yeah, I'm out of Apple. That's just.
Well, my issue is the QQQ is selling off really, really bad.
Yeah. Well, just
doesn't seem.
It's just too early for if it's going to bottom. It's a little early.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm really good in terms of P&L. I really don't need to trade anything. I had a really solid on Tilray.
Yeah, well, me also. I still have a bit of Tilray.
Fuck! Look at this. That's why I stay away from these low float stocks. Look at this GRVI.
Apple's really trying to hold here, even though it still looks weak.
Let's get something on AMD. AMD is really getting destroyed.
Yeah, the only thing I'd be concerned about is Qs. I don't know if the Qs are going to hold here or if they're going to sell off more.
getting back
Thank
long
you.
on Apple at 142.82. I'm getting back long on Apple. 142.80. Let's get a pop on it. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Ah, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, watch out for that 9 moving average. It's right there at 143.30 still, sort of that area.
Out more
And
on it.
The view app's at 143.72.
Yeah. Guys,
Okay.
Carlos is going to do a quick reset on the chat room because I said a bit. So just be with us for 1 second.
I'm just selling some more Tilray here. 15.50. All right.
Yeah. So YouTube people, guys, it's only you. The chat room people don't hear us. So I would just wanted to ask kindly if you can like or subscribe to a channel, because we want to grow the channel, and your likes and your subscribe and your comments will really help the channel to grow. So if you had a really good time with Tilray or Apple, please like or subscribe to our channel, because YouTube verification is 100,000 subscriber. And the only way to actually grow that is to get engagement with our users. And I really, really appreciate that. Sorry asking and begging all the time. Really, really means a lot for us if you can do that. Thank you, guys. So yesterday we had 550 likes. That's a record for us. If you can get today, that would be really, really nice too as well. Thank you so much. Okay, so I don't know if we're back. Oh yeah, we're back in chat room as well.
We're back, yeah.
Alrighty. Apple did the bounce eventually, Brian. Thank you as well.
Yeah, that worked out.
I noticed something in the last couple of days. You just wake up late, come, do whatever Brian did, and it works.
Yeah, Thor calls it the profit of profits. Here we go. So let's see if we can get to 16 on Tilray. That would be nice. Tilray's been the money machine today.
Man, I loaded up on Tilray. You have no idea how much I made on Tilray. I loaded up on Tilray 3 times and just boom. Apple.
Yeah, I took a pretty heavy size on Tilray too at the open.
Getting out a little bit more Apple. Throw that book is old. I'm gonna write a new book. Trade whatever Brian says. That was good.
Mr. T, it was to me it was the strength in the pre-market that made it kind of interesting, and Tilray has traded like this in the past. I seem to remember it really, when they had good earnings, they really. It was a nice moving stock. It was pretty clean. So we had that right at the open. We had just before the open, we had some nice strength that was showing. And then, and then it just did a little bit of a hesitation pullback at the open. And that's generally, some initial profit takers. And then the buying took over again. The buyers took control, and that was it. We've got a huge ask. It's at 16.
On Tilray, yeah, it's going to go to 16. Let's see if you can add some in there. Looking for a pullback to add on that.
Yeah, there we go. Yes. Sold 1601. The Qs are finding a bottom here.
Yeah,
The
AMD is bouncing.
the SPY seems to be finding a bit of a bottom here.
IWM is very strong. I love that. Apple, that was like a freaking awesome reversal we took on that, Brian.
Yeah.
I can't believe
It did finally hold. It just took a while. Look at Tilray. Tilray's still going. Such a nice move.
Alrighty, I'm glad that we had a really good day. I mean, I had a disaster day yesterday, so very nice.
Yeah, IWM is coming back up again here.
I know I'm selling more TNA here. It's really nice.
Yeah, TNA. Yeah, TNA.
And Lamborghini. I have a Lamborghini or cardboard project now. This time with TNA.
A Lamborghini project.
That time was that time was on TQQ. Now it's on TNA.
No, it's on TNA. Yeah, TNA has been the sort of choppy last couple months.
AMD did a really nice reversal too, and QQQ.
Well, Billy's been on fire.
Something funny that Apple started bouncing back before Qs. I mean, Apple, I think it's 20% of the QQQ is Apple. So see this, Apple started bouncing at right at 945. TQQ started bouncing at 946, and then a pullback at 950. So Apple just leading. That's a really interesting one. Yeah, it was a pretty good day, Mark. For me, it was a really, especially with the swing that I had on TNA. I had $1 million TNA last night. I just loaded up last night and just woke up on 22 grand. Ooh, all right, that was good. No, it was a really good day. Yeah.
We're getting a little bit long in the tooth in terms of time here. Tilray could be looking at a bit of buying exhaustion here. K-Web is going. Jarad said, correct. I think he said it's only about 10% of the Qs. And Apple, not quite 20. 20 is pretty big.
Yeah.
But 10% is not unsubstantial either, obviously. Peter's not usually. Oh, look at that, Peter. That's got to be AM. Is that AMD? Nice. That was a nice trade. Oh, that was Microsoft. Okay. Nice trade. Very nice, Peter. Peter's not usually a morning guy. Oh, did you, Shree, you shorted CCL? I see CCL. I see that sold off really nicely. Look at it. Wow. That's amazing. BA, what did BA do? I wasn't following BA. Yeah, BA's been a little more choppy. Put in a higher low, so that would have been a good place to short it.
Fuck, GRVI got destroyed, man. I'm sorry I traded GRVI. This is very dangerous. I really shouldn't make an example on trading these low float stocks.
Yeah, that was garbage. Yeah. Yeah, the volumes really dropped off on GRVI.
I mean, Marque, that's a very interesting thing. Here's the thing. Market definitely is overbought, but that doesn't necessarily mean that size can. The market can stay for years overbought. Um, Neo is
Yep.
popping back up. I don't know if it's a false breakout or not. Really need to take a trade on Neo, but I'm taking a long on Neo. I don't know if this one is a false breakout or not. Oh, there you go, popping up. Oh, yeah. See if Neo can go up. AMC, I'm looking at AMC. Don't see any pattern. Apple was a really good entry here. Add on the pullback. I was thinking of adding. I just missed it. Yeah, Neo is gonna go up back to the high of the day. Looks like it. I got some at 4080 and Neo. Doesn't the only issue with these poppies is not much time and sells.
I'm
see what
long.
it does.
Just got long a little snap here. I'm like you. I don't really need to trade anymore, but I'll take a long on snap as it went through 75 there.
Yeah, Apple is really, really nice. I wish I was adding Apple at the VWAP. Too bad. Tilray did a 920 trade, almost 920. No.
Oh, just back to the 9, right off the 9.
No.
Yeah, it's a little early for a 920 trade. Should be like in another 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just sold some snap here at 24. 75, 24.
Apple was a perfect ad on the VWAP. I was going to add, I just missed it. Get this pop $1.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of Neo. I mean, I lost on Neo. I'm a little bit emotional on it. I don't really need to get in there. Plus, I can't take the long. I think it might go for the break of high of the day, but I just don't want to mess around with it, to be honest with you. AMD is bouncing back.
CGC made a nice move too.
PDD. The Chinese stocks did a big bounce. Baidu, Billy,
Yeah.
Baba. They all did a really nice bounce. Yeah, Mark, I don't know why am I doing. Sometimes when you're in the chat room and you think half an hour is left and you got to do something, I really don't want to mess around with anything. So, how's YouTube people doing? How was your day? So, Yoncho, 920 trade is a buy and a pullback trade. Someone on YouTube is asking that when the strongest stock goes up, on a pullback on a 22-minute chart, you can buy for the next move up. We have a couple of examples. Maybe we have a couple of examples on YouTube. That's a Brian signature trade. Apple, man, look at this Apple. Damn it. I still have 1,000 shares of Apple, but I should have loaded up at the VWAP. This pullback. This is a lightning bolt pattern that Peter is doing. Let's look at this beautiful lightning bolt pattern. It's my epic pen. Where is my epic download available? Okay, I'll download you.
Yeah, Neo's breaking.
I'm in a good mood. I download you. I upgrade.
Oh, so Thor is trading Donkey Kong on a breakout here. DKNG. Gotta watch Thor. Gotta watch what Thor's up to. Yeah, that was a nice breakout here. We had a nice breakout pattern at the open. Sort of a long, sort of extended period of consolidation, and then a break higher here.
AMC rejected. Neo grinded up, creeped up, going back up.
Yeah, Neos. Yeah, you can look at KWeb. KWeb's going higher, which is the Chinese internet stocks, all going higher. Yin's going higher.
Garbage
So
trucks
we
are
did-
back, ZRA. I know, yeah, they're back. Garbage. There is a software that actually do the noise cancellation. Eamon mentioned that to me. I gotta install that. These garbage trucks are back.
Yeah, exactly. I think so, Jarad. Yeah, definitely what's going on today is we're getting a short squeeze. A short squeeze or maybe some bargain hunting. I'm still long some snap here. I'm watching Tilray because Tilray is starting to roll over a little bit here. So the VWAP is sort of 1530. If we get a failure of the 9 moving average here on Tilray at a 2-minute chart, then I'd be looking at the VWAP for a possible bounce trade on that one.
Man, I didn't know. I wasn't sensitive toward these truck noises. Now, since yesterday, it drives me crazy. It's just how the human mind works. Just I wasn't even noticing it. Now it just bothers me really bad. Let's get this one on video broadcast.
All right. Tilray's losing the 9.
NVIDIA display driver. What's that?
Don't upgrade.
I'm in a good mood. I upgrade anything. Just give it to me.
Never a good time to upgrade while you're trading.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really good idea. That's a good idea.
Wow, AMC is getting beat up a bit here.
Good. AMC, yeah, AMC bounce back. Neo bounce back. IWM is lost the VWAP, eh? Maybe I should.
Yeah, the Qs came ripping back up here.
What's Tilray doing? I still have Tilray. Not much left.
It didn't. It got lost the 9, but it really didn't get back to a range. Yeah, it's maybe going to go back above 16 here. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Speaking of devil,
yeah,
I'm getting a long on it. I'm adding some long in it here. See if you can get to 1620.
I don't know. I think it's looking a little toppy.
Nah, it's gonna go.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it get back to the spot, the VWAP and the 20. But you never know. Yeah,
you never know.
You never know. It still looks. It definitely looks strong.
Yeah, definitely, it's gonna go up. I loaded up. Go up. I love the volume coming in. I think it's gonna pop. Apple is still creeping up.
Yeah, K-Web's still going.
Yeah, come on. I knew it. I knew it, Brian. I knew it.
Yeah. Well, let's see, what is high of day here? High of day is
1618. 1618.
1618. Yeah. Excuse me.
Let's see if you get it. Actually, it is really stalling there. So let's see if you can get to break of 5 today. Anything up there? Any big ask or anything? Not really.
I'd really like to see it pull back to the VWAP. That's where I'd get long again.
On Tilray?
Yeah,
Wow.
but it's got to drop quite a bit here. Apple just went through 145.
I know.
Man.
Let's see what it does. It's getting a little bit concerning, Tilray up there. Let's. Yeah, I think it's gonna go. It's just a matter of getting a good entry. You know, my entry is not great. If my entry was at 1560, I would have just light a cigar here. But now that my entry is a little bit up here, so I can't believe Apple just keeps going up.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's Apple, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of why I thought it might double bottom early, just because. Yeah, any other stock, it probably would have continued to drop, but Apple just has, you know, too many fans, and they put up a good quarter.
Yeah. PDD is running up too. PDD is also Chinese company, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
all the Chinese companies are going up.
Pinocchio or something. Pinocchio.
Let's see.
What about some
Pinduoduo.
options? Apple. And maybe sell some 150 calls end of the week. What do you think, Jared? Sell some naked 150 calls. Oh, Mike's trading Nvidia. I've got a I've got a chart up of Nvidia. I had a pretty big sell off right at the open, and then did a pretty impressive V reversal here. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I don't want to. I want to see some topping action on Apple.
Megan.
So I get the best entry, and the premiums are terrible on it. Actually, it's only 26 cents. It's not really worth.
I'm getting out some more Apple. I have 500 shares left on Apple at 145.50. It's good. Yeah, Tilray is not gonna do anything, so I might actually get out of it. So let's see what it does. Let's make it It might do a 920 trade. So Neo, Neo. I just didn't like Neo, to be honest with you, at all. Tilray is getting toppy, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Tilray. The 20 moving average is now above the VWAP, so I'd be looking at the at a 920 trade right there on Tilray. I'm going to bring this over here.
Yeah, I can put a stop loss at 1560. That's my entry on Tilray. So because I added from the bottom, my average is around 1560. So
yeah, but 1550 is where the 20 moving average is.
On a 2 minute move chart. Yeah, so
2 minute chart, yeah.
Definitely looks a little bit toppy.
Yeah, well, that's why I thought that it's getting a little late for another long.
Especially with this volume, couldn't break 16. So
yeah,
I'm losing some of my hope in it. It's 2 minutes moving average. Still not bad. Apple is going to go green for the day. There's a good chance it goes green for the day.
Yeah, I'm waiting at 1550 here on Tilray. See if it gets there. Patience, Richard Parker.
Patience, Richard Parker. Oh, so you want to buy at the 920, huh?
Yeah, Neo 920. Yeah, possibly here.
The only issue that I have with Neo was this sell-off at the open below the VWAP. That weakness at the open, I'm just really not a big fan of Neo. I mean, if it was just strong above the VWAP, but this sell-off at the open, especially rejection at the 1 minute open range breakdown, really bothered me. That's why I'm not really big keen to. All right, so Tilray is doing that 920 trade.
Maybe.
ARK is running up. I loaded up ARK too yesterday. It's just ARK is up. It's red for the day, but now it's back up.
I got a little long there. Just it didn't get back to my 15. Just got a little long at 1564 because I'm just not. It doesn't look like it's going to get to the 20. Looks like it might bounce again here. Okay, maybe it's going to make it now here.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing Tilray. So,
What? It was a great trade.
yeah, it was great. Now it's a little bit. So, do you see this big ask at 1560? It's very interesting. I'm getting a long here at 1556 as a 920 trade. Let's see.
Yeah, long.
Oh, there
got long, yeah, got long there at 1555. Okay, right down to the VWAP. That's okay. It's okay. I'm keeping the size small. Just because I had a good day, I don't want to get messed up here.
Adding a little bit more here. Let's see if we can get a good bounce on it.
Here we go.
Let's see, 920 trade, the famous, notorious 920 trade of Brian.
Yeah.
Works or not.
Yeah.
The whole world is watching.
Let's see if we get back up to at least to the 9 here, the 9 moving average, which is fair value as well. It's right around 1575.
The whole world is watching.
Come on. That's kind of thinking it's need to have some patience here because it's just it's not getting that aggressive bounce that I like to see off the moving average.
Yeah, certainly is like that. To me as well. I was
Yeah.
expecting it.
Like was looking for a bit of a better move there. Maybe we'll get it. Maybe we'll get it. Apple's still strong. Wow. Amazing. Yeah, I'm going to sell some at 62. See if we get a bit more of a bounce here. It's just I don't like the way it's taking. It's taking an awful long time to bounce here. Yeah, Neo did a better 920 trade than this one is.
Yeah. Oh, Neo did, huh?
Okay.
Let's see about it. It's holding
It is trying to hold here, yeah. So she's like, NVIDIA's breaking out their mic for you. Hopefully you're still long. There's a marker here for fair value on your chart if you have DOS.
So
Still
how do you
holding.
get that? How do you get that fair value?
There's a, let me just find the study. Where's the study?
Yeah, Tilray has kind of failed as an. I think it's kind of failed as a 920.
Yeah, I'm not liking it. I'm glad I took partial out of it, so I'm out of the rest of it. Volume by price, yeah. Thanks, Peter.
And he's running up.
Damn. Yeah, Neo was a way better trade. Now it's back at the 9 moving average, Neo.
Still holding this Tilray. Let's see what it does at the VWAP. Although it is certainly disappointing. Apple at 146. I still have Apple. Just selling a little bit here in this case. Tilray.
Yeah, SPY just popped up here.
Buying brigades are coming.
Yeah. Neo just, Neo did a way better 920 trade. Yeah, this Tilray's now popping, of course. Tilray actually tested the VWAP a couple times before bouncing here.
Still holding Tilray.
Apple's going to go red on the day. Or green, I should say.
Green, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. It's going green.
Look at this beauty. Haha. Now I'm selling some. That Tilray. Patience. I told you, good things are coming to people who are patient.
Have patience, yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime. I mean, the most important thing is, Beef, is about any chat room is the first question that you have to find is trading for you or not? Apple went right. That's the most important thing. I mean, yes, we love to have you. Yes, we love to have your money. But I'm just kidding. But the most important thing is if trading is something that you want to do or not. A lot of people might say, okay, it's not for me, or this style is not for me, or it's just a decision that you really have to make as a trader. And different chat rooms have different style. This different style of trading. Like, you go to some of the chat rooms, they're pretty much trading penny stocks. There are some chat rooms that are pretty much what they do is they just short these penny stocks. They're trading like what GRVI. And there are some chat rooms that are pretty much just the only thing that they do all day is just fade these stocks. And for them, you have to use a different broker that gives you this short seller, this short inventory, because there are some brokers like Ivy doesn't have it, but there are some brokers that what you can do is you can go to where's that? Is it on the tool short locate?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah. So it's on trade. So there are some Ivy doesn't have it, but for example, you go to GRVI, you want to short it, you want 5,000 shares to short, you have to ask for no shares available. Get this short locate, and then they borrow shares for you, which becomes actually really, really expensive. So there are some chat rooms that they pretty much do that. So you have to see which style also fits your personality, your trading style, your account size, your risk tolerance. All right. So Tilray did a bounce.
Yeah, Tilray did a bounce and then rejected. See, that's where you at the 9 moving average. That's why you'd take half off there. Just because it may not follow through here. Back to high of day. Donkey Kong might do a 920 trade.
Yeah, Alliance is offshore broker.
Yeah, SPY almost went green there, or did it go green? Yeah, touched green anyway.
Yeah, Alliance is an offshore broker. CMEG unfortunately can't accept Canadians, so I opened the account with Alliance.
So Apple just went green and then rejected. So it's back in the red, but just watch the 9 moving average is what it's been using as support. Q's had a really nice comeback.
No, Chris, the problem with CMEG is if brokers want to accept Canadian, they have to be registered with Canadian securities. It doesn't matter where the bank is. And CMEG is not registered with Canada, or it doesn't have office. I don't think it has anything to do with banks. QQQ is an index. Is an index ETF. The investment company called Invesco is providing it, and it has the top 100 company in NASDAQ except financials. So it's really, really heavy on the tech. It's not all tech. I think there's Starbucks and stuff in there too, but it's very heavy on that.
NEO looks like it's going to try to break out here. I don't really trust it this time of day. SPY is back at trying to go green.
All right, so Tilray is dropping. I think it's kind of done, Tilray. So I'm going to get out of it. Small out. It might bounce, but it was just all one trade.
Back at the View app.
Yeah. I can't believe IWM just lost it all. It's going to go red.
Yeah, it looks like it, eh? That's amazing.
You believe that?
It's it's done that a couple times where it's been the boss, it's been the leader, and it's just faded completely during the day. SPY looks like it's going to go green on the day here.
QQQ's strong. Nice. Chi Winter. So someone just private messaged me. He left Invesco, where he was a senior trader for all of their ETF product, including QQQ. Well, welcome. Thanks to be here.
Yeah,
Uh,
awesome.
Actually, Invesco is not the only company who provides this 100 companies in there. There are other companies that they provide that, but they don't get much liquidity. It's all branding too. One ETF gets the brand, and everyone trades that. I think we have companies similar to that. What's the other one? I think they have some even lower expense ratio and stuff. So ETF similar to QQQ. Alternative. No, there was one that exactly was. Adi knows that. Adi.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna get Addy. He's going to make a guest appearance. Yeah, the IWM is a small cap ETF. I mean, it's supposed to be similar to the Russell 2000. I don't think it's exactly the same.
Anyways, there is something. I don't know what it is, but. Oh,
Yeah,
look at AMD.
Just dropped.
Look at AMD, Brian.
Wow. Allergies or something this morning. Yeah, look at that.
No.
Look at that run. Look at that run on AMD. That's amazing.
AMD is going to go to 100 soon, eh? Peter must be really happy.
Who must be really happy?
Peter. Peter
Oh,
definitely
Peter.
is going to be happy.
No, Peter was trading Microsoft this morning. Oh, there you go.
What?
Yeah, I know. He shorted Microsoft. Nice trade on AMD there. Very nice. Nice Andrew M. That's a beautiful trade. Cherie. Oh, Cherie traded AMD as well. Very nice. Yeah, I got kind of struggled with AMD yesterday. I looked at it, but then I remembered yesterday, and I thought I don't want to fight with the thing again today. So Apple's right at the 9. It's pulled back to the 9 moving average. The Q is doing here. Yeah, a nice trade. Nice trade on AMD, guys.
What a day, huh? What a day.
Yeah. Nice comeback on the Chinese stocks today. I mean, they were definitely overdue for a bounce, no question.
So I'm all out on my position. I still have a little bit of Apple left, like 300 shares of Apple left. I sold most of my apples. I'm just gonna see if it can go up. Look at the bottom that we got, Brian. Really. At 142, 147. I'm just gonna hold this. See what we get there. We have some TNA and stuff there too. So, all right. So let's do a recap. How's that? What do you
Yeah,
think about
sure.
that?
Yeah, we can drop off VMix then. It's at that time, hour into the trading day.
So Peak Capital Traders, guys, at 11 Eastern time. So in half an hour, we're gonna the mentorship session. Don't forget about that, guys. Jamie, that's a good question. Meme stock ETF. That's a really
Yeah,
really
there you
good
go. That's what we should. Yeah, we should start an ETF. Meme stocks.
All right. So let's do a recap. How's that? So YouTube guys, thank you so much for watching. I think we're gonna stop it for YouTube. If you can, you guys can support us by a like. If you did enjoy this, or subscribe to our channel, we really appreciate that. Oh, we get 48,000 subscribers. Thank you. Yeah, so the reason that we're asking this is just all about getting those engagement and promoting the channel. There are a couple of ways to do it, just like you put these funny pictures, look how much I made, like that. Or there's one way is just to grow it in a way that do that. So there are a couple of ways of doing it. We decided to just do it this way. Because imagine Brian, look at this. like 920 trades. These are the people who
Yeah.
click on that.
Yeah,
I think he's a little bit old for to do this stuff, these thumbnails and stuff. But let's see if we can do it this way. I want to prove YouTube that you can do it better. And so thank you so much. And so we're gonna do a recap in the chat room. And I think Carlos, anytime that you can just.
Yeah, grasshopper. That was a nice trade on AMD too.